Hello and welcome back to Mark's House and Garden UK. As usual, because it's June and we're in the UK, it's absolutely throwing it down with rain outside, so I can't make a video outside today. But my channel is House and Garden, so I can make an indoor video. So today I'm going to make some Eggs Royale. Now, whenever I am out for brunch or in a hotel, if this is on the menu, I always order it. I absolutely love it. But when I am out for lunch or brunch or in a hotel, it's usually around about 13 or 14 pounds for Eggs Royale. In this video, I'll demonstrate how you can make Eggs Royale at home for about £3. So you could do 4 for the price of 1. And it's not difficult. I'll also show you how to poach eggs successfully. And I'll tell you how to tell whether an egg is fresh or not, because when you're poaching an egg, you really need to be doing it with the freshest of eggs, day-old eggs if possible. At the end of the video, I will taste it for you, and I'll also tell you about my next video, which is also an indoor video. I'm going to do a DIY video this afternoon. I've got a large bed head to attach to a wall. You can see how I do that in my next video, and I'll link to that in the description box below this video. Now, because this is going to be up close and personal, I'm going to bring the camera in close. You won't see me, but I will talk through what I am doing, and you will see me again at the end when I do the taste test. Right, now before we crack on, let's just run through the ingredients and the equipment. And by the way, there is the adding up that proves that it can be done for under £3. These are all the ingredients, the most expensive of which is the salmon at £1.50. Now, I bought my salmon from Aldi. It was a pack for £3, and that's half of the pack. So there we go. Eggs Royale for £2.85. I've got a slotted spoon and some kitchen roll. That's 2 pieces of kitchen roll folded, and we'll be using that to scoop the eggs out and to drain them. We see that in practice later. That's a spoon. Now, the purpose of that spoon is to get this water moving. I want the pan of water on a simmer, and then I'll be rotating it, and then I'll be dropping the eggs into that vortex. Now, it can't be too fierce a boil. If it's too fierce a boil, when you drop the eggs in, they'll just disintegrate. So I am actually going to turn that down slightly, so that it's just on a simmer. I've got the lid handy because if ever you want to inject some heat very quickly into a pan, just put the lid on it and it will boost the heat, surprisingly. And right, so that will take it off for now. And that's a nice simmer. It's not boiling, it's simmering, and I will be using the spoon to rotate the water, and that will create a little vortex there, and that's where we'll drop the eggs when we start to poach them. So my ingredients: salmon, 2 eggs, a muffin which I've already cut in half, I'll toast that in a moment, some butter, some chives out of the garden, and some hollandaise sauce. Now, you can go to the trouble of making this yourself if you so wish, but even in my local cafe, and I know because I asked them, they buy it in, so I'm cheating and I've bought mine in, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, how do we tell if these eggs are fresh? Because I did mention, ideally when you're poaching eggs, poach them with the freshest eggs you can get your hands on. Now, I bought these a couple of days ago, but I do have access to day-old eggs because my neighbours have hens. So ideally get some really, really fresh ones from your neighbours if you can. How can we tell if they're fresh? Well, this is a pan of cold water here. If an egg is very fresh, it will sink and lie horizontally on the bottom. If it's fresh but not very fresh, it will sink but start to go vertical. And if it's not edible, if it's beyond fresh and you should throw them away, it will float. So let's give these a bit of a test. Well, they're lying horizontally on the bottom, so they are very fresh, and they're still fresh enough to poach. That one there is just slightly starting to bob up. Okay, but they're still very fresh, so we can use those for poaching. Now, the egg poaching action is going to take place very, very quickly, so I'm going to get these muffins, or half muffins, toasted. I want them to be toasted and buttered before I start doing the eggs, because you're really talking 2 or 3 minutes for the poach, I like mine runny. The bigger the egg, the slightly longer it takes, because when you put a large egg into water, it saps the heat out of the water and then it has to heat up again. Smaller eggs do that, but to a lesser effect. So they're classed as large, but they don't look very large to me. When I drop the first one in, the water will cool down and I'll drop the second one in. And then I'll show you how to observe them to decide whether they're cooked or not. Right, so I'm going to take the pan lid off and look at this water. It's boiling a little bit too fiercely for my liking, so we'll just turn it down a little bit. Now, I don't want to start poaching these eggs till the muffins are ready. So I will come back to you in a moment when there are 2 buttered half muffins on this plate. Right, so let's get poaching. Let's get that water swirling round to create a little vortex in the middle. Let's take one of the eggs. Now, you've got to be confident with your eggs. Don't be aggressive, but be confident. Don't be scared of them. Get that egg right in the middle there. Can you see it's sat in the middle, but the water's going around. And I'm going to drop the other one next to it, right next to it like that. And you can see you've got 2 eggs in there now. And they're in one piece, they're intact, and the water is swirling around them. And it's helping them to form into a nice little mass of egg. Right, whilst that's happening, and there won't be a lot of time for this to happen, I will just put the lid on and give it a bit of a boost. I'm going to get my salmon onto my muffins. That's how quickly the eggs will poach. Approximately half on each one. Now, the way to see if these eggs are cooked is really by observation. I don't time them and never have. We're just going to look at them. I want the white to be cooked, but I want the yolk to be runny. Now, I've learned that if you move the water gently in the same rotational pattern as before, once these are fully cooked or just about ready, they will release themselves from the bottom of the pan and start to move around independently. So that's why I'm just gently now scooping the water in a clockwise direction. These are I'm looking at the whites here and I'm looking at the yolks. That's the one that went in first and this is the second. And they're starting to float. They're starting to move around. This is a non-stick pan. And I think we're almost there now. Right. Now, how do we get those out of there onto there without breaking them and without bringing a lot of water? I don't want a soggy mess of water, of wet egg on my salmon. Well, here's what we do. That's what this is for. So let's gently place the spoon underneath the egg. Before we bring it out fully, we'll have a quick look. That's not quite cooked, that one. I think that was the second one that went in. We'll have a go at this one. We'll just lift it. Yeah, I'm confident that that one is cooked. Right. Place the spoon on the kitchen roll and just gently overturn it like that. And all the water that's sat on top of the egg will be absorbed by the kitchen roll. So there's one of them. Now here's the second one. Same again. Just gently turn it and gently place it back. You can do it twice if you like. And there we have an egg. Now some people turn them upside down when they're serving them, but I just place them like that. And the last thing we need to do is get some hollandaise and some chives on. There's the eggs. I'm just going to warm this spoon up a little. And then I'm going to get, that plan didn't work. That spoon's too big for the jar. So we shall find a smaller spoon, which we will warm up a little. And just go in. We'll just put a little blob. This is quite strong, this hollandaise. You don't want to overdo it. And you want it to try and sit over the egg like that. A bit more on each. Not a lot. You don't want it overpowering it. It's got lemon in it. It's quite lemony. Right, here's our chives. I mean, I don't really care for chives particularly, but this is really just to make it look a little bit chefy. Just a few chives on top like that. Gordon Ramsay, eat your heart out. Or if you don't like Gordon Ramsay, you can go for Marcus Waring. There we are. Isn't that lovely? Why don't we just place a little chive like that? So there we go. Eggs Royale. Now, I've just mentioned 2 male chefs. So in the interest of balance, of course, we do have some amazing female chefs. I'm thinking of Nigella and Delia Smith. Delia Smith actually did a book on cooking eggs. Right, let's get in there. Are they runny? Are they how I like them? Look at that. The perfect runny egg on a toasted muffin with smoked salmon. Right, let's give that a quick taste. Whilst I'm tasting them, I will tell you about my next video, which is an indoor video. Ironically, the sun has come out outside, but I've got an indoor job to do. That is just heaven. I've got to hang a headboard on the wall. I don't want to use the wooden things that came with it because they wobble. I bought these. They fit together like this. One goes on the wall, and one goes on the bed head. And they call them French pleats, I think, or something like that. If you want to watch that video, I'll link to it in the description box below this one. I hope you've enjoyed my demonstration of how to cook Eggs Royale for £3. Please do like it and share it. And I'll see you soon. For some more Eggs Royale adventures. Bye for now.